Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass the Move. And for today's episode, as promised, St Ettienne's second leg in the Europa League. I guess it doesn't get much better for us this season, but it is of course a huge game for us. And I'll show you just in a moment's time what we've done since the last episode. But yeah, just a couple of updates in terms of competition. So as you guys know, we've been knocked out of the Portuguese League Cup, Taça de Portugal and Super Taça. I hope I'm saying that right still, by the way. But anyways, the Europa League, we've already mentioned, we're supposed to reach the second knockout round, and we're in the first one currently against St Ettiene. In terms of the league though, looking kind of good for us so far. I mean, we've had some disappointing results that we'll talk about in just a moment, but yeah, we're still third, so that's good for us. We're still going to get into the Champions League playoff, which if we win, we get into the group stages, and that will be huge money for us. And hopefully that will mean that we can start to seriously invest in some of the players that we've got. Invest in some players that we've got. We want to invest in players to bring them in. But anyways, yeah, so we are on 40 points, 22 games played, which means there's just another 12 to go. So it's really crunch time at the moment. And as you can see, Sporting are the ones who are trying to fight us out for it, and we're going to have a game with them later on this season as well, so it's going to be very interesting how that plays out. We'll definitely need to beat them to stay ahead of them, and due to our recent poor results, we've actually had a bigger gap, but now it's just down to 2 points, so we can't even risk. If we tie, I suppose maybe we'll be okay because we beat Sporting early in the season. Just to give you an update, well, not an update, just to remind you actually that the Portuguese League, Premier League at least, it goes by not goal difference, but actually how your results against that team. So we've beaten Sporting in the beginning of the season, so that's really useful for us. It's unlikely that Ferreira will challenge us for the Champions League spot, but yeah, Sporting, it's good that at least we have that advantage because we don't have goal difference going for us, of course. But anyways, that could change later on. If they do defeat us, then goal difference will come into play. So just things to bear in mind, really. As you can tell, we have the most draws out of all the teams from 1st to 5th, so that's kind of what's been so disappointing for us this season. Of course, 4 losses aren't too great, but I think draws are more punishing in terms of results, and we really need to break that barrier between drawing against teams where we should be winning. So as you can see from the draw list, there really isn't any team here we shouldn't be beating. It's not like we're not favourites for any particular game. As you can see, Rio Ave as well, proving to be the difficult team to play against so far this season. But anyways, in terms of the results, so we did show you that game against Tondela, the 2-0 win. That was perfect. I thought we were going to go on a little nice winning run, but instead we went on a drawing run. Rio Ave 1-1 away from home. Fonte managed to score, advanced playmaker. Another thing to note is actually that he's finally become accustomed to playing as an advanced playmaker in the central midfield. It's strange that he's lost his ability to play as an attacking midfielder when he was actually a natural here. But either way, we're not playing him there, so it's not a worry. It's either that or a false 9 striker, which we may consider for next season, but it really depends on who we can bring in, who we sell and whatnot. But anyways, that was the result there, and Diaz really kind of destroying our hopes towards the end of the game there. We tried to push on and get a winner, but unfortunately we couldn't, and that's kind of a different story against Firenze, where we actually conceded first, but Hassan did get the 59th minute penalty, he managed to score it, and it was just disappointing for us not to go on and win the game. We had plenty more time here, 30 minutes, could have done something there, but really couldn't push on. The good result though, only good one of the past few games, was actually the one against St Ettiene. So we weren't favourites because we were away from home, but we still managed to get an 87th minute winner, an away goal that's going to prove very crucial for us. And it really depends on whether we're favourites at home or not, but it kind of shows that we're very similar in terms of status, I suppose, between us and St Ettiene. There's not too much of a difference. I guess they maybe edge it a little bit according to the odds experts or whatever, but either way we managed to get a 1-0 result, and that's all that matters. The away goal can prove very important, but of course we have to try and keep a clean sheet by all means necessary, by any means necessary really. But yeah, as you can see here, we haven't conceded too many. Other than Benfica, we've managed to keep a clean sheet quite often this season, so hopefully we can do it again here against tougher opposition. We certainly did it against Estoril, but they also managed to keep us out, and this was another disappointing game to draw. 3 draws in a row in the Premier League. We're still in 3rd for the Champions League, but we're really kind of pulled away from the top 2 teams, Benfica and Porto, where we were close to challenge them sort of, but then now we're just not even close to challenge them, and then our place in 3rd is kind of at risk now as well, with Sporting breathing down our neck. So not an ideal set of results, and we have a couple of tougher games later on. Porto we're going to porting. Imagine if Liverpool porting. But anyways, we're going to be playing Porto, Moreirense, Setúbal, and Madeira. We should all win, and then we have another. It looks, by the looks of it, we have another game to show you of our rivals. So that's the one to look out for. We showed you the one earlier in the season where I think we actually lost. Yep, 2-1 away from home. So hopefully we can make amends this time around over here. And hopefully we have better results to show you. But anyways, first of all is to play today's game. The one against St Ettiene. So kind of a standard team, I suppose. Hassan's back from his AFCON adventures. Eduardo's going to be playing as well. Santos, first choice inside forwards. Hopefully they can manage to get a goal or assist at least. Jeff, our new player, ball-winning midfielder. Hopefully he can improve as well in terms of his ability. Fonte, advanced playmaker, assist. That's kind of a standard so far. First team. We also got Marcelo Guiano, Pinto, Rosic, and Paulino. So that's again a full strength team. The only place we're lacking in strength is actually Moreira. Now he's the new signing. It's not like we're lacking in strength entirely. I just mean he's not our first team goalkeeper. As you can see, Marafona edges him a little bit in ability, and he's just had a recent injury. I think a concussion. Okay, I can't actually see that. But anyways, I think he had a concussion if I remember right, and he's just got back from injury. But unfortunately, he's not fit enough or in any condition, rather, to make an appearance today. But yeah, we have him on the bench either way, and hopefully we won't have to resort to him. It's kind of weird that we're in February and my players are still not used to our tactics. But anyways, let's kick off today's game. And hopefully we can meet expectations and get to the second round. Of course, that will mean more money for us as well. But yeah, just to meet expectations in the cup competition would be great. We've disappointed every cup competition except for the Super Taka in the beginning of the season, where we managed to beat Benfica to win that trophy. So maybe we can try and get far here. We kind of need a backup as well in case we don't get into Champions League through the league. Then maybe we can win the Europa League. I mean, we're not necessarily favourites for the competition. As you can see, there's the likes of Dortmund, Bilbao, Ajax. A bunch of good teams in here. Manchester United as well. So we're not necessarily favourites, but the further we go, the better, and who knows, we can be the underdogs who win the competition. Anyways, St Ettiene playing with a more conservative formation than in. Alright, let me see. Actually, sorry for a second. They're playing more conservatively than the last game we played. Yeah, I think I'll just tell them that. But again, we're still not favourites for today's game, so hopefully we can keep the clean sheet. We always start off on counter anyways, but it'd be good for us to start this way because they're forced into attacking, which is a bit surprising for me to see that they're actually playing a bit more of a defensive formation, I suppose. I think when we went to their stadium, they either played a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, so that's a bit more attacking than a 4-4-1-1. So it's interesting to see them start off conservatively, I suppose, but the likelihood is they will push on later on, and we should be prepared for that by playing on counter. But yeah, early stages looks like there's nothing really going on in terms of highlights, but we have edged shots. They have created a half chance though, so it looks like they're going to be a bit dangerous in today's game, and maybe we can still, okay, if no one gets sent off, maybe we can still get a result here. Of course, a 0-0 is enough for us, but hopefully my players don't settle for that and actually get us a second goal, just in case St Ettiene score. The likelihood is if they really want to turn this tie around, they still need to score 2 goals. So if we can get one more, that'd be great. And it would also, hopefully anyways, end their hopes of qualifying to the second knockout round. These 2 yellow cards are not pleasing at all. They're not from strikers, they're not from wingers even. They're from the 2 players who are supposed to be making the most tackles out of our team, the Anchorman and Jeff, and they really can't afford the second yellow card there because suddenly we'll have to be playing on contain, and that's not too pleasing at all. But anyways, it looks like we've edged this half without a single highlight though, so I guess nothing created of note. But that goes for both teams, I suppose, and it looks like we're playing well so far, so can't complain too much. Let's see if I can encourage them into putting a better second half. Had some quiet performances from the majority of the team, so Pinto, Eduardo, Hassan came back from the African Cup of Nations exhausted, and I actually had to give him like days off from training, not match days, because we actually need him because, as we mentioned, he's kind of our first striker. Anyway, Santos, good ball into box, nope, but he'll have a second chance to do so, and can he do it? This time, better ball, Wilson. Yes, and he's onside as well, and there you go, that's the insurance for goal we needed. And now St Ettiene will have no choice but to really come out of their blocks now, because they could get away with scoring 1 goal, but now 1 goal is not going to be enough. They need to score 2. But the danger is, of course, what a header that is from Wilson. Just rises above his defender and just completely... Goalkeeper has no chance. But anyways, yeah, if they score 2, the danger is if they score 2 now, we're screwed. So I would actually like us to score another goal. I know I asked for 1 more, but we actually need another one now. Hassan having a terrible game, so we'll just take him off. And let's see who else is tired. No one's tired, so I guess just Nicola for Hassan. It's really strange. Once Nicola was a first choice striker, whenever I played him, he used to have bad games, so I made him rotational, and then I brought Hassan on as our first teamer. And you know, when he was rotational, when Hassan was rotational, he was having incredible games. Now that he's first team, he's playing poorly, and it's like the other way around basically. Nicola's having good games now as a rotational striker. It's like neither of them can handle the pressure of being a first team striker. So it's a disappointing injury to Eduardo. I mean, not as important as Santos in terms of his output this season, but still a disappointing injury nonetheless, because he is a first teamer, so we're going to kind of miss him here. We have to bring on Fede Cartabia, who's actually not even a left winger inside forward. He can play on the left wing, of course, but probably is a winger because he's left footed, but we'll keep him on as inside forward. And let's see who's tired and deserves to come off based on today's performance. Alright, so anyone from here onwards. Santos, but we already took off Cartabia. Assis, let's give Assis a rest. Maro is asking for more game time anyways. He also, just a little bit of an update actually on Maro. He asked to be officially, well, not to be, but to officially withdraw his transfer request. That's great for us in terms of, you know, keeping our numbers. And obviously transfer window's gone, but it's a good thing he's asked for that. So, you know, we don't have to sell him off for cheap. I think he's not necessarily the best backup anchorman to Assis, but at least, you know, he is a decent quality. I think he's a good player for most Premier League sides, which is okay for us this season, but next season we really want to be just dealing with leading players, star players, you know, and players with potential as their backups. We really don't want to have anyone who's kind of average, you know, just okay in the league. We don't want that at all. We really want some star players. Anyways, we've lost the ball here, and Salvat is going to lead the counter-attack for St Ettiene with 2 minutes to go. It looks like they might actually score now, and if they do, it'd be a very nervous ending to the game. So hopefully we actually counter them now, but can we win? Can we actually score is the question. Perrin though has the ball for St Ettiene, and as you can see, both fullbacks really pushing up here. So we have to be, you know, we have to try and play a good game here, good defensive game. Can we win the ball? Yes, there you go. Are we going to lead the counter now instead? Goiano, Fonte, advanced playmaker, playing very deeply, like a deep line playmaker, really. Nicola though has got the ball now, and he plays it safely to Santos. That's okay. Now it looks like we're going to be the ones on the attack. Question is, can we score a second? Cartabia. What are you doing? Nicola, through ball. Nope, long range shot instead, and that's a really good goal from Nicola. And that definitely knocks the stuffing out of St Ettiene. And we'll take it. What a goal and what a celebration as well. The cartwheel, I suppose. But yeah, 2-0 at home, 1-0 away from home. Perfect 3-0 result over 2 legs. And we just proved that we are better than St Ettiene, so it's great to see. Goalkeeper maybe can do a little bit better, but that's just a bullet of a goal from Nicola, just really well placed. And what a celebration with his hands in the air. Point is, we'll take the result. We're through to knockout, second knockout round, so that's great for us. And maybe we can beat expectations. We've at least matched expectations, so the board can't be really unhappy. But maybe we can exceed expectations. The longer we are in this competition, the more money we're going to make. And Jeff puts in a really good tackle there. And Nicola's going to lead the counter-attack that will likely not amount to anything as the game ends. Yep. Perrin's got the ball again. Markout. Ref, just blow the whistle. They're not going to do anything. Salve Matios. Alright, there you go. 2-0 to Braga, and we are through to the second knockout round. That was a really good professional performance from my boys. And it's really good to see. Some players are complacent like Fonte, which is not good to see. But yeah, we can have a word with them later on anyways. Just let the game save in just a moment's time, and we can talk about when we'll be back for the next episode. It should be tomorrow as always, and you know, as we always put up daily content. And it should also be the game that we mentioned, Goimeres, but let's just have a look at what other fixtures are going to be going on, what fixtures to look out for in the future as well. So we always show you 5 games time, so yeah, it will be against Goimeres. And see, this is the kind of money that we need to be bringing in for 30k. I mean, obviously it's not too much in comparison to how many, what the big clubs make, but just to give you an idea, like club finances are 100% confidence in me because I'm managing the finance as well. They're happy about it. We're about almost close to 100k over our or under our how much we spend on our wages, so they're really happy about that. We just need to continue that because we have 8 million in the bank. And we're projected to just have 2 million transfer budget, which isn't too pleasing, and the balance keeps dropping. So we need to, I think the only way we really turn this around is just to consistently appear in the Champions League and maybe even win the league. We just really need to get more people coming in. Just to give you an idea, gate receipts this season so far we've only made 2 million. That's not too bad, but we made double of that through prize money, so that's the majority of how much money we're making. As you can see, players sold, TV revenue, and prize money is the one that makes us the most money, and a lot of the TV money is actually from the Portuguese Premier League. But yeah, gate receipts are not too good, and considering how much we spend on matchday experiences, half of that's already gone from the gate receipts. For example, gate receipts was 2 million, half of it is gone, 1 million, almost 1 million from matchday expenses, so we're already not making too much money. If I can somehow find out how many season ticket holders we've got. Right, so let's see facilities. We've got a 30k stadium, and alright, where can we find out? 30k stadium, and we've got 5,400 season ticket holders. That's not too bad, but I'm sure we can do better than that. We knew, Portugal had problems. We mentioned it in the very, first episode of this series entirely. As you can see, back-to-back Europa League qualifications for Braga. That's okay. That's not too bad compared to where they were before. But we really do need to step up, like in this season, 2009-2010, and just get Champions League consistently. But yeah, like we mentioned at the beginning of the season, or the beginning of the episode, the very first episode, it's in real life anyways. I'm not sure how the game does it. I'm pretty sure they simulate real life, but just to speak about real life, not the game, because that's all I know. The Portuguese league actually struggles with getting in fans into their stadiums, because only fans go for the top 3 big teams, like we mentioned. So Sporting, Porto, and Benfica. Apparently, those are the teams that players, or rather fans, are always going to watch their games, and they don't really care about anyone else like Braga. Everyone else kind of doesn't make enough money, and that's why Benfica can afford to have really top players, like obviously because they won the league 3 seasons in a row, but they've also been in Champions League for a while. They've had at least 7 seasons in a row where they've made Champions League money. But it also helps that they can have players like, let's just have a look at their general evaluation. So look at that, 25 million players, 15 million. That's definitely an improvement on us. Of course, half of the rest of the squad isn't as good as, the top half, I suppose. But still some very good players. I mean, it's no surprise that they can afford these players, and the likelihood is that their budget is a lot more than ours as well. But anyways, I think that's enough of that. And just to give you an idea, if we are doing the 5 games every episode, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it looks like we're actually going to show you the Europa League second knockout round, not our rival game that we mentioned here against Madeira, which is actually not Madeira. We were going to show you Goimeres, which is actually kind of better because we did show you Goimeres already, so it makes sense to show you a different game. So we'll be showing you the Europa League second knockout round. Depends on who we get, of course, and that'll be interesting for you guys to find out as well. And then let's say if we never qualify for the Europa, you don't go to the next stage into quarterfinals, then we have to assume it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a very important game against Sporting. That would be perfect. I'm actually kind of wishing that we don't qualify further in the Europa League, but obviously we need the money. And then again, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the last game. So we actually have to show you the 4th game, then the last game of the season, and then yeah, we can move into the next season basically. But anyways, that is definitely all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, then please do hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all very much for watching.